Hey, Jack, good to see you. How are you feeling now with the ankle, and what was that situation like? Obviously, we saw you out there on the field before the game testing it, and we know you're active, but what was it like working through that and ultimately the decision that was made?
Um, Ankle's feeling great. I'll be back to 100% this week, rolling. Obviously, it's a tough situation on the short week, trying to come back after getting beat up, and it came down to the wire, and obviously, coach made the decision after the workout to have me stay active, but keep me down in case of some sort of emergency. And it's tough. You want to be out there to play, but that's why I'm here. And hopefully, we don't have that situation again.
And does that mini bye week give you confidence? And like you said, 100%. But does that factor into being able to trust it and go out there and feel like you're going to be able to perform really well?
Definitely. Having those 10 days, that was fantastic for my ankle, and I'm feeling great. I am feeling great.
Daryl Ryder, you have our next question.
Hey, Jack. Washington's front there has been getting after the quarterback here these first couple of weeks. They're among the league leaders in sacks. First, does that affect your process or your decision process to play this week and really test that ankle, even though you said you're close to 100%? And then, secondly, what do you think when you look at them on film?
First of all, I'm ready to go, and no matter who would have been this week, I'm rolling. Obviously, they're a great front. They're playing really well. They got some young guys up there that are doing a great job, and they're really coming together and working as a group. They have a great front, and it's going to be a great challenge for us this week to keep everybody up, keep everybody clean, and it's going to be a fun week. It's a great challenge for us, and we're excited to get out there and show what we can do.
Thanks, Daryl. We'll go to Tom Withers.
Jack, good to see you. Hey, what does it do for a lineman when you see Nick Chubb truck a guy?
Gets you really excited. I mean, that's the fun part with Nick and Kareem. If we block up our guys, they can make somebody miss or just flat out run them over, and that really pumps us up, and it's an awesome to be able to have those two back there.
I remember Stump Mitchell talking about, and some of the backs did too, about how an offensive lineman works, and you guys meshing that way. Is the vice versa true of that? Do you need to learn those guys a little bit and maybe not necessarily change your game a little bit, but adapt to them as well?
Definitely. I think with the zone game, it just comes down to figuring out how they set the blocks a little bit, how they press the holes and stuff. I think that definitely plays back and forth, and that's really one of the big things figuring out between the two of us. The offensive line, the running backs, is just figuring out how to work off each other, and that's really where you see those big runs start to happen, is when that cohesion starts to take full stride.
Scott Patrick, your line is open.
Hey, Jack, what strides have you seen out of Jed through these first couple of games?
I think the biggest thing is just confidence. I think for him, just coming into the league, moving from right tackle to left tackle, that alone is a tough transition. And then not having any preseason games, that's a whole nother one. Just being out there and not seeing anybody but your own jersey in front of you. But luckily, we have such a good defensive front. That was a great challenge for him. But I think just getting out there, being in the game, having the shots fired at him, you can really see him fighting back and figuring out and really gaining confidence every week.
Do you feel like he's kind of settled in and that, as good as Washington's front is, that he's ready for that?
Yes, definitely. He's prepared, and I'm excited to see what he can do out there this week.
Mary Kay Cabot, you have our next question.
Hey, Jack, just wondering your thoughts on Chase Young in particular, when you've seen him so far on film and the start that he's off to so far as a rookie.
I think it's impressive. You can see what he was in college, obviously, and to see how that's translated so far for him into the NFL, it's impressive. It's a tough transition for anybody, but he's doing an awesome job, and I think he's going to be a great player in the league for a long time.
Are they moving him around some, or do you think, will you guys find him all over the place, and so everybody has to kind of be ready for him?
Yes, their entire front, they do, especially, with the DNs. You can see him on both sides, right and left, and so both me and Jed, definitely have to be prepared to see just about anybody over there.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Tony Grossi will have our next question.
Hey, Jack, watching the game against Cincinnati from the sidelines, did you see flashbacks to the formula that the Titans used last year? And is it similar to what you guys are doing offensively?
Definitely see a lot of translation there just with the wide zone and then hitting. And then once you get the success in the run, that turned into the pass, the play action stuff. And I think it definitely correlates a little bit more with what you see from Minnesota last year, obviously with Coach coming from there. But there's definitely a lot of similarities with the formula of how we did things in Tennessee and now here in Cleveland as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Marla Ridnour, you're up.
Yeah, Jack, I'm sure it was tough to sit out a 200-yard rushing game, but where do you go from here? I mean, is that your goal? I mean, the running back said that was kind of their goal every week. Do you see that you guys have the capability of doing that?
Definitely. I mean, it's a big goal, but it's something that we can do. You know, when you have two backs like that, you're never going to have somebody who's tired. You can just bring in the next guy, and he's not going to leave off from. He's not going to be a drop off at all. And you know, it's a goal. It's a tough one. You know, every week you have a great team, great front to go against as an offensive line. But you know that is who we want to be. We want to be a team that can pound the ball and put up 200 yards a game. And again, that'll just lead to more openings in the pass game. A lot more play actions when teams start sitting in the box to try to stop our run. We have the great threats on the outside to back them back off and then hit them again.
Do you marvel when you see Chubb carrying 4 guys towards the goal line?
Yeah, it's impressive. He's one special back, and he's so tough, and it's funny how quiet he is. You don't expect that much out of him, and to see him do it, it just kind of blows your mind.
Thank you, Marla. Dan Labby, you're up.
Hey, Jack, I don't know if you would have gone against Port Augusta much in camp, but I mean, if you did, what did you kind of see from him?
I did go against him quite a bit. You know, he's a guy that was out there working every day, and you could just see him getting better throughout camp too. You know, he's a real tough guy. He's a big weight room guy. He's a guy that's going to stay after practice and keep on working and trying to work moves. And you could definitely see throughout camp his progression.
He was kind of legendary in the weight room at USC. Have you kind of seen any of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's fun. He's always marching around with the shirt off, you know, going to the weight room back and forth.
Scott Petrick, to you.
Hey, Jack, when you see Baker have that early success that he did Thursday night with the rollouts and getting the completions and hitting OBJ on that long touchdown, do you feel like this is the perfect system for him?
Yes, definitely. I mean, this is especially with the threats we have. I mean, when you can get the quarterback out in space and you get the defense worried about the run, it's just going to give him a lot more time, get him in a position where he's not worried about just, you know, having to sit back in the pocket. I mean, that's tough for any quarterback that's just got to sit back there and has to, you know, worry about the offensive line holding up. I mean, when you can change it up on the defense and make them think we're going to be out of the pocket. So then in the situations where you do have to sit back, you know, they're a little bit slower. It's not going to be a collapse of pocket as quickly and stuff like that. And, you know, he's really doing, you can really see him starting to grasp the offense Thursday night. And I'm excited to see what he can do the rest of the year with it.
He said he has a lot more confidence in his protection this year than he did last year. Has he conveyed that to you guys, how much better he feels about it?
Definitely. I mean, he's always honest about getting, you know, just about working hard and understanding the playbook and knowing everything. And, you know, he's a great leader, and he's always got confidence back there. You can feel it.
We'll take 2 more questions. Fred Greetham and then Jeff Shadell. Fred, your line is open.
Hey, Jack, you weren't here obviously last year, but working next to Wyatt Teller, what do you see his game and the improvement and what he brings, you know, to the team?
He's an extremely powerful guy. You know, he's a guy that's going to put people on the ground and finish. And it's been fun to see just throughout camp him really starting to figure out, you know, the wide zone concepts. It takes a while, and you can really see him throughout these first couple of weeks starting to figure it out and put his strength into it. You can really see. I mean, last week he was all over the field putting people on the ground. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Last question for Jack goes to Jeff Shadell.
Hey, Jack, with the no crowd noise and you guys could hear everybody communicating, how does that affect the way maybe JC tries to call out signals to you guys when you know the defense is hearing everything?
It's definitely a week-to-week thing. You know, we have to change a lot of stuff just because even with teams going back and watching TV copies, they can hear a lot of our calls. So it's definitely makes it just a little more challenging and having to change things every week just to have to mask our calls and different things. But it's a challenge we're up to as an offensive line. You know, you got to be able to be cerebral and figure these things out. It's definitely eerie as a player. It was nice being back home and having at least the 6,000 fans out there, and it was exciting for me just to hear how loud 6,000 people can get at our stadium. It's gonna be fun when we finally do get it back to full capacity.